Welcome to Truth Uncovered. In today's video, we're not here to talk about petty revenge. We're not here for noise, chaos, or counterattacks. We're here for mastery, the kind that breaks your enemies, without ever raising your voice, without ever clenching a fist. Not because you're weak, but because you're far too strong to be pulled into their fire. Let them rage. Let them hate. Let them throw stones. But when those stones hit the man who has become immovable, they don't cause cracks. They reveal something far more terrifying. Unshakable stillness, ultimate control. And today, you're going to learn how to hurt those who hate you. Not through vengeance, but through elevation. Through silence. Through self-discipline. Through peace that burns more than any war ever could. Let's dive in. 1. Master the art of unshaken silence. The first blow, the most devastating one you'll ever deliver, is silence. People who hate you don't want you to ignore them. They want your reaction. They feed on your energy like parasites. They want anger, fury, evidence that they still have space in your mind. Because if they still get under your skin, it means they still matter. So don't give them that. When you stand still, when you don't shout back, when your face shows no disruption, they begin to panic. To them, silence isn't emptiness. It's judgment. It's terrifying because it says, "You are not worthy of my energy. You no longer have access to my emotions. You no longer exist within my reality." And that kind of stillness, it's powerful. Epictetus said, "It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting. You see, what hurts isn't what they say. It's your belief that what they say matters. That's why true Stoicism doesn't just teach you to ignore the noise. It teaches you to become immune to it, to reach a place where external chaos doesn't disrupt inner harmony. Let them shout. Let them gossip, slander, attack your character. You remain unmoved, because they don't understand that your silence isn't defeat, it's dominance. Every time you refuse to react, you suffocate their influence, and every breath they take hoping to disturb your peace only ends up suffocating them in their own bitterness. 2. Build a life so disciplined. It exposes their insecurity. They want you to slip. They want to see you lose focus. They watch you like vultures, circling, waiting for weakness. So you give them none. Each morning you wake up early and train your body. Each night you review your day and sharpen your mind. While they rot in anger, you sculpt excellence. While they obsess over you, you invest in yourself. You become a mirror they can't look into. Not because you mock them, not because you belittle them, but because your very existence, your progress, reminds them of their stagnation. This is the true punishment. Your life becomes a living testament to their failure. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Let that quote be the sword you never have to draw, because you don't outgrow them to spite them. You outgrow them because you refuse to live in the same toxic soil they planted themselves in. They live for drama. You live for mastery. They spiral in confusion. You walk in clarity. They cling to ego. You surrender to discipline. And when you show the world what a man looks like when he chooses growth over gossip, when you rise while others rot, you become untouchable. You become a standard they can't imitate, and that, more than any insult, hurts them beyond repair. 3. Outlive their hate. Hate is a fire. It burns fast, and it always consumes its source. Discipline is stone. It stands in storms, endures erosion, survives generations. You don't just move on from hate, you outlive it. You keep walking forward while they burn in place. You pursue purpose while they pursue petty arguments. And years later, when they look around, they'll realize something horrifying. You're not even there anymore. They're still fighting a war that you stopped acknowledging long ago. They still hold grudges against a ghost who doesn't look back. Seneca said it best: how much better to heal a wrong than to avenge one. And he was right. The true mark of greatness isn't how loud you scream back at your enemies, but how quietly you rise so far above them that they become irrelevant. Let them hate you. That hate will age them. It will eat away at their peace, their relationships, their future. But your life, it will be built brick by brick in stillness, power, and intention. Every breath you take with purpose, every goal you complete with focus, every moment you choose peace instead of pettiness, is a blow they never see coming. 4. Forgive them because you've already won. This is the final strike, and it's the most powerful. Forgive them, not out of weakness, not because they deserve it, but because you do. True forgiveness doesn't say, you didn't hurt me. It says, you don't have the power to hurt me anymore. It says, you no longer live in my mind. You no longer matter enough to keep me angry. Monimus Rufus wrote, "It is not enough to refrain from harming others. We must also not wish them harm." Forgiveness in Stoicism is not passive. It's a thunderous act of freedom. It announces to the world, I've let go, and by doing so, I've become whole again. And when you forgive them, not behind closed doors but openly and with confidence, you take away their last weapon, your attention. Suddenly the power dynamic shifts. They can no longer provoke you. They can't live in your head rent-free. They're not a chapter in your life anymore. They're footnotes, forgotten, powerless. The world watches as you show grace instead of grudge, mercy instead of malice, strength instead of scorn. You don't forgive because you're soft. You forgive because you are so incredibly strong that you no longer need revenge. That is victory. Conclusion. The Stoic path to victory without violence. You want to destroy your enemies? Don't fight them. Outgrow them. Don't speak against them. Outclass them. Don't hate them. Forgive them. They want chaos. You give them silence. They want war. You offer indifference. They want your pain. You show them peace. And that peace, the one they'll never understand, will haunt them far more than anything you could ever say or do. This is Stoic true wisdom. Where we don't react, we rise. Where we don't fight, we flourish. Where we don't fall into darkness, we light the way forward. Let them burn with bitterness. You walk forward in purpose. Let them scream into the void. You meditate in stillness. And eventually they'll look around and realize you were never their opponent. You were their reminder that some men choose power while others remain trapped in their pain. Welcome to a new standard. Welcome to truth uncovered.